Hello everyone, welcome back for another multimeter review. My name's Darren and I hope you enjoy the show. So today's review we're going to be looking at the VC105 Digital Multimeter. This is a slightly unusual multimeter. I say unusual because it comes with a lot of features that you don't normally see in this price range. To start things off, it's a 4,000 count, fully sealed, dust and waterproof multimeter. It has a all-trigger key switch. As you can see, there's no more selector knob. The typical range selector switch is gone. In this case, it's all push button. There's a 20 amp current range, which is fully fused. Comes with a RS-232 communications port. Now, it does not ship with any software, so you'll have to use your own software. But you do have the RS-232 capability on board, which is nice. And that is located directly in the back here. Something else that's very cool about this multimeter is it comes with a fully rechargeable lithium polymer battery built in, and includes a rechargeable AC adapter to recharge the battery. The cable for the RS-232 port, USB to USB. You get a nice pouch, actually a pretty decent quality blue pouch, zippered, and your standard leads. They're okay, nothing to write home about per se, but they're rated as Cat 3 1000 volts. That's what you get with the kit. As well, you also get a slightly unusual user manual. There's no preface per se, it's strictly gets you right on board. It says, "Dear user, thank you for choosing the VC105 waterproof digital multimeter." And if you go through the pages, which are all in English, it gives you a fairly good breakdown of what the meter is capable of and what you can do with it. English-wise, it's not bad. There is the odd interesting for instance, E1 oscillograph would be obvious to all. So unless you're from the planet Zion, I'm not sure what they're talking about here, but anyway, it's a fairly decent manual. They did a good job, gets right to the point. Back to the multimeter. This one shipped with a Chinese logo on the top. From what I understand, I believe it says something to the effect of peak wave or something like that. Something to do with a wave or water. So just so you know. Once again, the meter itself, fairly robust in terms of the actual feeling. I mean, this meter is a pretty large meter. It's heavy, it seems extremely well built. And the standing bail, solid, it's not going anywhere. We're going to crack this puppy apart in a little bit, but generally speaking, for this price point, I haven't seen a better built multimeter. It's really solid, has a really good feel to it. The push button for power is here. Hit it once, defaults right away to DC mode. It's showing up as millivolts right now. It's got a really nice bright backlight. Now, the interesting thing with this display is that if you look at it head on, it seems to be slightly washed out. But if you're on the bench, as you can see, it's a really nice, really vibrant, crisp, big LCD display. Very nice. And I have to say, once again, for this price point, waterproof, communications port, rechargeable, solid. I mean, if you had this in your hands, you'd know what I mean. I'm going to compare this size-wise shortly to a Fluke 87.5, but it's a big meter. It just feels really nice though. And when you lay it on the ground, as you can see, it's super clear. If you have it on the standing bail, you have that sort of washed out look because it's not at the proper angle. I guess the engineers, when they designed the display, had a little different in mind, but when it's down on the ground, it's perfect. So it's usable both ways. I've been using it mostly in this position, and it seems to work really nice. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start with a few measurements. I am going to just hook up the standard test leads. Now, I did talk about the price, but I'll tell you how much I paid for it shortly. I just want to go through a few more things. So in this case, we're going to stick the black in the the red into the positive. And seeing as we're on DC volts, let's start with a 9-volt Duracell battery. Alrighty. I'm not sure, this might actually be an old one or a dead one, but we'll soon find out. Let's see what we read here. Oh, okay, so 9.18 volts. So it's a good battery. And that was pretty fast too. So that works. Just double check it one more time. 9.18 volts. I'm going to bring in Mr. Fluke here, because sometimes it's always nice to cross-reference. You've seen him in a lot of my other videos. Let's just see what Mr. Fluke has. Once again, I'll just measure it one more time with the VC105. And we're showing 9.18 volts. I'll hit hold button. It's a standard hold, as you can see. You have to press down on it. It doesn't automatically capture the reading. But anyway, that's what we had with the VC105. Now we'll compare that to the Fluke. And we'll see how close we are. So the Fluke is showing 9.27. So about 7 counts off. 9.26, 9.27. Okay. This Fluke, by the way, it's a brand new one. It was production year is, I believe, April of 2017. I'm going to assume the calibration from the factory is probably a little more reliable than the VC105, but there we are. Now that I've got the Fluke out, actually what I will do is I'll just show you size-wise. You can see the Fluke 87 is a big meter, but actually this VC105 is thicker and wider, almost as high, almost as tall, not quite. If we bring them on the sides, you can definitely see the size. This guy's a beast, and you don't see that, once again, not at this price point. Okay, so what we can do now, since I've got the Fluke out, I will quickly go through some voltage on my DC power supply, and we'll just compare the two and see how they measure up to each other. Just bear with me 1 second while I hook up the leads. And it's a very interesting multimeter, this VC105. Unfortunately, it's not the easiest in the world to find, but I mean, it is what it is. And okay, take it off hold. Alrighty. Okay, so right now on the DC power supply, I'll just show you quickly what we're looking at here. We're showing as 1.9 volts. And probably for the sake of glare, I'm going to just put this one down so you can see it better. You can see the display is quite a bit larger than the Fluke, so if you have vision problems, you're probably going to appreciate this, the VC105. Anyway, the other thing I forgot to mention as well is when you turn the light on, it stays on. No auto off on the VC105. So that's also nice. Once again, in this price range, usually hit the illumination button for your multimeter, and it goes out within 10 to 20, maybe 30 seconds if you're lucky. This one, it stays on all the time, so that's a bonus. Okay, so right now, in terms of the voltage measurement, we're showing 1.9 volts on the DC power supply, 1.92 on the Fluke, 1.91 on the 105, so pretty close. Gonna Bring it up. We're at 3.2 volts, 3.24 on the fluke, 3.22 on the 105. Take it up. 4.7 showing on the power supply, 4.8 coming up on the fluke, and 4.7 on the 105. Let's bring it up to, let's say, 10.0 volts. So registering 10.1 on the fluke, no, 10.0, 10.1, and 10.01 on the 105. And once again on the voltage supply, it's showing us 10.0 spot on. So they're fairly close. Bring it up again. We'll go all the way to, let's try 18.5, 18.6 volts. So 18.6 on the fluke and 18.4 on the 105. And I'll just max it out here. Bring it all the way up. 31.5 volts. So yeah, so all in all, at around 31 volts, maxed out on my power supply. They're fairly close. I've got no complaints, and I mean, I'm comparing this to one of the best multimeters around, so all in all, I'm quite happy with that. So thank you, Mr. Fluke, as always. And we're gonna go back to the star of our show, Mr. VC105. Now, I'll just remove these leads. And I'm going to pull out a resistor. This does measure capacitance, resistance. I believe it's up to 40 ohm. Apologize. So yeah, up to 40 mega ohm for the resistance on this device. By the way, I just noticed that the rechargeable battery service time, it's showing as 50 hours with full usage. So that's pretty good. Definitely no complaints in that department. Chances are you're not going to be using it for that length of time per se, but it's pretty good. Pretty good battery life. And I will be taking this apart shortly so you can see the insides. And there you go. Okay, so we're going to do just a few more measurements quickly here. I've got a resistor. And I just want to make sure you've got this nice and close. Okay. Gorgeous display. I really got to say, the more I look at this, the more I'm really happy with the display. So to switch, we don't have a selector switch anymore. We've got the push button. So we'll push it to ohms. And I've got a little resistor. Actually, I have no idea what this resistor's rating is. So soon find out. So 200. That's right. I understand. Remember that now. It's a 200 ohm resistor, so that's fine. Not the fastest in auto ranging, but it'll definitely suffice. I don't have any capacitors. I apologize. Let me just double check. Okay, I think I found one capacitor here. I do have some capacitors, but I know they'll definitely not be in range. What do we have here? Oh, this is a 1000. I don't believe, well, we'll soon find out. We'll try. This is a 1000 microfarad capacitor. I'll put it to the capacitance range, so it's right in the middle. Give it a little while here. over limit, yeah. I believe the range on this is only 100 microfarad. So I do apologize, I don't have anything smaller. I usually do. Let's just try another guy here. Okay, so this one's 1 microfarad and it's showing up as 1 microfarad. So that's fine. So yeah, I believe the range on this is, the capacitance range is 100 microfarad. But that's okay. I have Fluke. I have some other devices if I'm measuring big caps. So that's not really the, this guy's big job. We've got a continuity, which we will try. Let's see what we've got here. Zero out the leads, so not bad. 0.2 on the leads. I want to put us into continuity mode. Range, select, so diode, and select continuity. So you can see I'm using the select button here. So I'm hitting my range and then I'm using select a range because some of them have more than one. So here we go. It's not very loud. I wasn't expecting much from these leads per se, but that's not bad. I know if I was to put better leads on, it would probably be much quicker responding. But it is not very loud. That'd be my one concern. I wouldn't be able to hear this in a production environment per se. Let's see here. We can try diode. Probably won't light this guy up. It's a white LED. But you know what? We'll try. That's what we're here for. Nothing that way. We'll switch it around and yeah, so it's unable to light this white diode. And I don't know where all my other diodes are. Apologize. But I did test this previously with a lower voltage red LED and it did light it up. I do apologize once again for not having that handy. It does come with the very interesting USB jack port on the back. So this is a combination of your charging port as well as your RS-232 communications port. So if you have software that you like to use for data logging, try it with the VC105. Hopefully it'll work. Does not ship with software, just with the communications port per se. Now one thing I did notice the first time I charged it is that it wasn't charging. So after a little bit of head scratching, I realized that the port here on the back, it wasn't making the greatest contact with the charging USB portion. So you really have to stick it in there. I just didn't stick it in deep enough, but once I did, voila, we were in business. And when this device charges, there's a small illumination on the charger here. And the nice thing about it is that you can actually still use the meter as it's charging. So that's kind of cool. Let's take this puppy apart and we'll see what's inside. So I'll do this live. Try not to preempt my videos. So you've got this really, really nice, very well made rubber holster. And in fact, it's so well made that the first time I took this off, actually speaking of off, I'll turn it off. Hold down on the power button to turn it off. So the first time I took it off was a trial and tribulation, as it looks like this is going to be. So bear with me. As I said, I'm trying to do this in real time. And so far, no success. So I can just remember how I did it the first time. There we go. So the easiest way with this guy is on the side to pull. Usually a lot of them you can just push, but in this case, pull. Sounds like a joke, doesn't it? You push, I pull. Alrighty. So it's coming off. It's a really nice holster. Really, really good quality. Feels great. So there's our little beast. Oh my God, it's naked. Okay. Now, I've already taken out most of the screws. It comes with 6 Phillips screws. And let's see here. Oh, okay. I thought I had more removed, but apparently I left them in. So just quickly take these off. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Okay, let's see if that's gonna do the trick almost. And got one little guy that just does not want to cooperate. Okay, so finally, here we go. And voila. And let me just flip that over the other way. Okay, as all the screws come out. Very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to just remove. It's got a connector cable here. Okay. So I'm going to set this down. Let's see what we've got here. Very interesting. Whoops. Hate it when that happens. Okay. Just move these. So it took 6 screws. As you can see, they're not, they don't have any threading. It's just metal into plastic. Never a great idea. I'm trying to get a look. Wow. Very impressed for a cheap Chinese multimeter. Look at this. We've got a huge, huge 20 amp rated HRC fuse. Really, really nice. You don't see that too often in a cheap Chinese multimeter. You've also got a really, really nice, let me try and get you a better view here. If you can see this, the actual, where the probes go in, they're screwed in, and they have these nice riveted tie-offs. So basically, they're not going to come loose. Very, very, very nice. Wow. Normally it's just some crappy soldering job. That's very high-end, very professional. I'm impressed. Very, very nice probe contact. Very solid. That's not going to go anywhere. Got a smaller fuse in the bottom. But lots of space. A lot of space. And we have some nice PTCs over here. Another, I guess it's high input resistor array. And holy moly. That is a, wow. That is an NAIS German, made in Germany it says, relay. It's a low profile 2-form C relay. Wow. Wow. Okay, now's a good time to say what I paid for this multimeter. It's $30. With shipping came to $35 Canadian. So this is a steal, folks. A German relay, massive 20 amp HRC fuse, really, really nice soldering, very clean board, no flux residue, nothing. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm not going to go any farther. I'm not going to take it off anymore. Looks like it could be painful, but this is a pretty good indicator of what you're getting for your $30, which is mind-boggling, really. The inputs themselves, I mean, I haven't seen this on some high-end $200-300 multimeters. So for for $30 multimeter. Incredible. Very, very happy. That's the battery. I'll take that off the battery cover just so you can see. And once again, they say it's around 50 hours of battery life per charge. So there you go. There's your battery. And nice, clean, simple. In like Flynn, out like grout, or something like that. Very nice. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. I really wasn't expecting to see this. The speakers on the other side here. Unfortunately, there's no shielding. It's amazing because you have a German relay, but no shielding. Go figure. But, I mean, I can easily do that aftermarket, so that's no big deal. And once again, if you look at the connector, that's for your RS-232. Very, very nicely done. All screwed in, proper screw holders there. Really nice insulated tiebacks. Very, very, very nice. Like, this is crazy. I still can't get over the quality here. So I am just gonna put this back together, and when I come back, we'll do a quick overview and I'll give it my rating. But once again, gorgeous, gorgeous insides. And one thing else I'll mention is, if you can see in the ridges, you've got a really, really nice, and it's a plastic rubber seal that goes all the way around the circumference of the meter. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. So, wow, I still can't get over the size of that fuse. Okay, so I'll be back shortly with a recap. So finally, to summarize this very interesting multimeter, the VC105, did a little bit of research and got a little bit more information on that relay. And there it is. So it's the NIS low profile 2.4MC relay made in Germany. Very nice. So once again, it's a 4,000 count, fully sealed, waterproofed and dustproof multimeter. I don't see any IP rating on this per se, but they are stating those facts as part of the selling features. The switch is all triggered, no more old-fashioned selector knobs. Not that those are bad, I still love my selector knob switches, but this is kind of nice too. 20 amp current on the amperage range with a really nice 20 amp HRC fuse. RS-232 communications port. Does not come with software, but the portability is there. And it has the rechargeable battery built in with the enclosed AC adapter. Solid build, extremely well made. Gorgeous, gorgeous PCB layout. Excellent input protection. What can I say? Once again, I paid $35 for this meter. So in terms of a star rating, I'll start off with the construction. As I just said, everything about this meter, construction-wise, is top grade. It's built like a $200 meter, as far as I'm concerned. The holster quality, the insides, it just feels quality. So a full 1 star. Ease of use. I do like the push-button controls. It does take a little getting used to. Some things aren't quite as obvious as the range selector switch. Maybe not as intuitive, but still nice. I'm going to give it a half star. In terms of the features, really nice. I did forget to mention it also has a duty cycle. So that's another great feature to have. It does have your diode, your continuity testing, ohms, AC/DC current. It's obviously, you know, nothing in the same range as a Fluke 87.5, but for a general user or even basic electronics work, I think it's great. So I'm going to give it a full 1 star. In terms of the input protection and robustness, what can you say? How often do you see a 20 amp HRC fuse in a very not so expensive multimeter? You don't. The inputs themselves were very, very well made, designed, threaded, screwed. Lots of input protection, lots of clearance. This obviously, was a very well thought out meter, so it's going to be robust. I have no qualms about putting this into any high voltage. No concerns at all, really. So I'm impressed. I'm going to give it a full 1 star. Price, availability, and warranty. Yes, that's the problem. The price is amazing, $30 to $35 Canadian, but the availability is not so good. If you can find it, good luck. Unfortunately, it's not an easy meter to find. As far as I know right now, there's only one seller on eBay that even sells these. So if you want one, now is probably the time to grab it. So unfortunately for availability, I'm gonna have to give it a half star. But that's a total of 4 stars for the VC105. Very interesting, very nice, very unusual, different, rechargeable / waterproof, well-made multimeter out of Asia. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and please give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you want to leave a comment, that'd be great too. Until the next time, keep on testing.